Marina stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows of her beachfront villa, watching the waves roll in like they had every day for the past 3 years since Richard left. She was 48 now, built a tech empire from nothing, had more money than she could spend in 3 lifetimes, but the house felt like a museum. Empty, cold, just her and the sound of the ocean. Her assistant Jennifer had suggested something crazy that morning over coffee. Hire someone pretend to be your husband for the investor dinner next week. Marina laughed at first, but Jennifer wasn't joking. You need a +1 Marina, and everyone knows Richard remarried that 25-year-old. Show them you've moved on too. That's how she ended up posting a discreet ad online. Companion needed for business event. 1-week arrangement, generous compensation. She expected actors or con artists. What she got was Daniel. He walked into her office that Tuesday afternoon in a simple white shirt, dark hair slightly messy, hands calloused from real work. Not the polished businessman she usually met. I'm a carpenter, he said simply. Been one for 20 years. My daughter needs surgery, and insurance won't cover all of it. I saw your ad and thought maybe I could help us both. Marina studied him carefully. He was maybe 42 or 43, handsome in an understated way, with kind eyes that had seen struggle. No wedding ring, but a tan line where one used to be. Divorced, she asked. Widowed, he replied quietly. For years now. Lung cancer. Took her in 6 months. Something in Marina's chest tightened. She slid an envelope across the table. $10,000. You play my devoted husband for 1 week. Attend 3 dinners, 1 charity gala, and make it convincing. Daniel stared at the envelope for a long moment. His hand shook slightly as he picked it up. For my daughter, he whispered. I'd do anything for Emily. They spent the next 2 days preparing. Marina taught him which fork to use, how to navigate conversations about market projections and venture capital. Daniel was a quick study, but more than that, he was genuine. When she practiced introducing him at the villa, he took her hand naturally, his thumb brushing her knuckles in a way that felt protective. Not possessive like Richard had been, just present. The first dinner was with the Singapore investors. Marina wore the red dress, the one Richard always said was too much. Daniel's eyes widened when he saw her, but he didn't say anything crude or performative. He simply offered his arm and whispered, "You look beautiful, Marina." At dinner, he was perfect, laughed at the right moments, asked thoughtful questions, rested his hand on the small of her back when introducing themselves. But it was the small things that got to her. How he pulled out her chair, remembered she didn't like cilantro when ordering, noticed when she was anxious, and squeezed her hand under the table. This is just a job, she reminded herself. But her heart wasn't listening. On the third night, they sat on the villa terrace after another successful event. The ocean breeze carried the scent of salt and jasmine. Daniel had loosened his tie, sleeves rolled up, looking more comfortable than he had in days. "You're good at this," Marina said. "The husband thing." Daniel smiled sadly. "I had practice. 15 years with Claire. Best years of my life." Marina poured them both wine. What was she like? Kind, he said immediately. She saw the good in everyone, including me, when I was just a kid with a hammer and a dream. She believed I could build anything. His voice cracked slightly. I built her a house with my own hands. Every beam, every window. Finished it 2 months before she got diagnosed. We never got to grow old there together. Marina felt tears threatening. Richard left because I worked too much, she admitted. Said I love my company more than him. Maybe he was right. I built an empire, but I forgot to build a life. Daniel turned to her. You know what Claire told me the week before she died? She said, don't let grief make you small, Danny. Love big, even if it hurts. Especially if it hurts. They sat in silence as the waves crashed below. Marina realized she was holding his hand and wasn't sure when that had started. The gala was their final event. Marina in midnight blue, Daniel in a tailored suit that made him look like he belonged in her world. But when Richard showed up with his new wife, a girl barely 30, with rehearsed laughter, Marina felt herself shrinking. Then Daniel was there, pulling her close, whispering, remember you're the woman who built something real, not with money, with vision and courage. He's the one who lost Marina, not you. She looked up at him and saw something that terrified her. Real affection. When they danced, Daniel held her like she mattered, not like a trophy or a contract, like a partner. Your week is up tomorrow, she said quietly. I know, he replied. His eyes searched hers. Do you want to know the truth, Marina? What truth? I would have done this for free. The moment you told me about your company, how you started coding in your parents' garage at 16, the way your eyes lit up talking about technology changing lives. I knew this wasn't just a job anymore. Marina stopped dancing. Daniel, you don't mean that. We barely know each other. I know you take your coffee black with one sugar, she said. I know you hum when you're nervous. I know you donated anonymously to children's hospitals for 10 years. I know you're terrified of being alone, but more terrified of being hurt again. Her breath caught. The week ended the next morning. Daniel stood in her foyer with his duffel bag. The envelope Marina gave him noticeably lighter. I only took half, he said. It was too much, and this felt like more than just business. Call me if you ever need a friend, Marina. A real one. He was at the door when she called out. Daniel, wait. He turned. What if I don't want a friend? What if I want someone who sees me? Really sees me, not the CEO or the bank account. Just Marina. What if I want to take a chance on something real, even though it terrifies me? Daniel dropped his bag. Then I'd say I've been waiting 4 years to feel alive again. And this week with you is the closest I've come. They met in the middle of that vast, empty foyer. When Daniel kissed her, it wasn't performative or passionate. It was gentle, promise-filled, the kiss of two people who've forgotten what hope felt like. 6 months later, Marina sold her villa and moved into a modest house Daniel built, with a workshop for him and an office for her overlooking a garden they planted together. Emily called her bonus mom now. And sometimes late at night, Marina would find Daniel on the porch, looking at the stars, thinking about Claire. Thank you, she'd hear him whisper to the night sky, for sending me someone to love big again. Marina would take his hand, and Daniel would pull her close. Two broken people who hired each other for a week and ended up hiring each other for a lifetime. Sometimes the best investments aren't measured in money. They're measured in moments, in second chances, in the courage to believe that your story isn't over. It's just beginning a new chapter. Please tell me where you're watching my video from and at what time. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more stories about second chances and unexpected love. Comment below and tell us about a time when taking a risk led you to something beautiful. Your story might inspire someone else to take that leap of faith.